Review number 1. I've been using FoodSavers for years and for the most part have been disappointed until recently. In the past they did not perform well in that the units could only vacuum maybe 8 or 10 packages before the machine lost its vacuum. This year I decided to try again and purchased the V2244. It held up well for about 4 months, then began to lose its vacuum power and was not able to handle packages beyond 12 or 14. We vacuum pack tons of food items: goat cheese, bacon, rolls, pesto, sauces, meats, salmon, leftovers, basically anything you want to have on hand and freeze for later. We even vacuum packed a tube of our favorite color lipstick because we had 2 of them and didn't want one of them to go rancid. It worked perfectly. The newer FoodSaver GameSaver is a more powerful machine than our V2244. It's the same size but more sophisticated in design and a bit heavier than the V2244 and can handle, so far, easily 40 vacuum packages at one time without a failure of pressure. It's fast and efficient and simple to use, and you can vacuum pack quite a bit of food in a reasonably short period of time. The machine arrives with a roll of plastic and pre-sized bags to fit your needs. We prefer using the pre-sized bags, but the rolls are great for larger items like a turkey breast, hams, etc. Any good cook would appreciate the ability to store food as easily as the FoodSaver performs. Review number 2. Update. Worked great for a couple months, then it started having issues. It stopped sucking all the air out of the bags before it seals. Very frustrating, and after wasting a whole roll trying, I just got so pissed I threw it out the door. Went back to my old one, which can be equally aggravating. I don't think I have ever owned another appliance that could get me so angry as a FoodSaver. It's just not worth the frustration to me. I will just stock less frozen food and double bag it. I have owned the upright version of a FoodSaver for years. It works good, but it takes up a lot of space and the bags have to be placed in a narrow slot, often very difficult to get the bags in it. It also gets hot quickly and flashes a light and stops working till it cools. It is also heavy and large. This model addresses those issues but has some minor things that could use tweaking. The good 1.it is compact and flat. See pics of both models. 2.it has a separate sealant button, unlike the upright that starts pumping as soon as the bag goes in until you hit the seal side of the dual seal/stop button. This separate seal button makes this new model much easier and 2 seconds faster to just seal. 3.it did not get hot and stop working like the upright does, at least not after about 15 consecutive sealed bags, and I think it would go even more, but that's the most I have needed to seal at one time. The upright could not do that. 4.I like the way the bags go in. By lifting the lid, you can clearly see where it will seal and move it to where you want it. The upright, you have no adjustment, it goes in a blind slot and just starts sucking and sealing all at once. 5. You have much more control with this model than the upright. 6.it is much lighter and easier to manage and store than the upright. It only weighs 5.5 pounds, the upright weighs 9.3. It measures 16.1/4 inch wide, 9 inch deep and only about 4 inch tall, stores flat. The upright is 17 inch wide, 5.1/2 inch deep and 10.1/4 inch tall. 7. I love that I can make the first seal without cutting the section I'm using off the roll first. I just pull from the roll till it is just over the seal bar, close and lock lid and seal. Then pull off the size bag I need, cut it with the slide cutter, fill and lay it back on the bar and vac/seal. The upright, you have to cut the bag off before sealing either end. Harder to judge how much bag you will need because you can't see where it will seal. This model you can. What I didn't like, 8.s so far the only issues I have had is the height of the seal bar in relation to counter. When you lay a bag filled on the counter with the end to be sealed on the seal bar, the bag is bent, making the end of the bag go straight up rather than laying flat. See pics. You can't hold it down with both hands because one hand has to close the lid and turn the lock knob. After several failed attempts to get a good seal, I simply grabbed a book to raise the bag level up to the height of the seal bar. Perfect solution. This should be suggested in the booklet. 9. The other thing I would like is an indicator sound that the chosen task is completed. It is silent, unlike the upright, which is quite loud, and there is no question when it has finished. I often found myself standing there waiting for the sound and finally realized the silent light had gone out and it was done. 10. The open-close crank on the side takes a while to get used to. Not an issue for a person new to FoodSaver, but for me it took a while to get used to. No big deal, just a step I'm not used to. All in all, so far I like this one much better than my upright. The camo photo on top is cool, the light compact size is a big improvement, and the open and see where you are sealing the bag is great. To FoodSaver, put an indicator sound on this and maybe a pull-out tray like on a printer to get the bag up level with the seal bar, and you review number 3. This is my 4th vacuum sealing machine. I freeze a lot, big upright freezer. And so far this one is the best. I buy meat only on discount sale, and so there are some times when I am lucky and get quite a lot at one time. This happened when my other one died, and so I had all kinds of meat in the freezer unprotected in just regular freezer Ziploc bags. Which, by the way, even after 2 weeks my meat did not look as fresh as when I froze it. When my new FoodSaver GameSaver outdoor item arrived, I had to bring out all that frozen meat and put it into the vacuum bags and seal it. I did about 20 packages one right after the other with no problems, no waiting for cool down time. I will definitely buy this one again if and when I need to. It was less expensive than the other models and does twice as good a job. And the lock system easier to use than just holding cover down until the light turns green. Turn lock, let ER go. I will recommend to anyone and I will buy again. Review number 4. I bought this to replace a broken FoodSaver that I had before. I like this model not for the inch outdoors manage marketing, but because it can do successive sealing without the sealer overheating. This is helpful because I tend to do my food sealing in large batches, like after making soups or a trip from Costco. Review number 5. March 20th, 16. I bought this machine after plenty of research and reading of reviews. Seemed like a great machine, especially for the price. At time of this review, I am the only 1-star writer. I had used this once literally just to test it. It worked great. The second time I tried to use it when I actually needed it, the machine did not vacuum the air out of the bag. I tried several times and adjusted the seals around the edge of the machine, but it did not suck. Luckily I am still within warranty, so I have sent it in for an exchange. Maybe I just got the only bad one. We shall see. I will update this review after the use of my exchange. Update. Just got a new machine. Same problem. I tried to vacuum seal some defrosted chicken. The pump comes on but does not properly suck out all the air. Thought maybe it could be the way I was installing the bag, so I watched some YouTube videos. Nope. I am doing it correctly. Totally disappointed. The only one with similar reviews is the inch FoodSaver GameSaver Big Game Vacuum Sealing System Inch. But it's $100 more, and when you read the reviews, 20 out of the 22 reviews were done by people who were given the item for free. Bottom line, I'm disappointed in this product. Review number 1. I've been using FoodSavers for years and for the most part have been disappointed until recently. In the past they did not perform well in that the units could only vacuum maybe 8 or 10 packages before the machine lost its vacuum. This year I decided to try again and purchased the V2244. It held up well for about 4 months, then began to lose its vacuum power and was not able to handle packages beyond 12 or 14. We vacuum pack tons of food items: goat cheese, bacon, rolls, pesto, sauces, meats, salmon, leftovers, basically anything you want to have on hand and freeze for later. We even vacuum packed a tube of our favorite color lipstick because we had 2 of them and didn't want one of them to go rancid. It worked perfectly. The newer food